Good evening. Welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show, episode 29. And I hope you've had a good weekend so far. I'm wearing black for obvious reasons because of yesterday's game. But other than that, as usual, I'm joined by my great hosts with me. Jez, how yourself?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, good. Yeah. What can you say? Arsenal are going to walk the league. You know, that's what I'm being told. Yeah, that's it now. Everybody else has give up. It's all going to be done and end of. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, people. Man City look like they're up for it big time. And watching them today, scary. But I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, most definitely. Fuzzy, how's yourself?
Doing good. I think from the point where between Friday night and Saturday afternoon, I felt like we'd won the league, right? We had that league-winning feeling, being at the top of the table, 3 points clear of 19 other teams. It's fantastic, absolutely scintillating emotions. Like I just wanted to streak down the street, right, and make an absolute fool out of myself, be shameless with it. But aside from that, it was all right Friday night. Get a win under the belt, start the season off the right way. But got Brighton away next. Probably the most convincing score line that they had away to Everton on the Saturday. So we're in for a tough afternoon next weekend. Very tough afternoon.
Yeah, because obviously you opened up the start of the Premier League, and far from convincing. It was very end-to-end stuff, wasn't it, from both teams? Both teams had an opportunity to score, and it looked like the goal machine Scott McTominay had actually kind of put it across the line. But your new man took all the credits.
Yeah, Joshua Zirkzee, he looked over his shoulder and thought, this little rat's going to try and steal my goal. He's going to steal my goal. And he's just like, no, not today. That script ain't happening today. Forget about it. Listen, Scotty, yeah. You've just beaten today. Yeah, you're beating the team that you're going to play for come next weekend. Yeah, because I'm hearing that they've reopened talks to potentially sign Scott McTominay, have Fulham. So I'm fingers crossed that it's a deal that happens, because that means we get to finish off our transfer window ultimately and just get prepared for hunkering down for the rest of the season. And yeah, it's a very, very nice finish, I have to say. Very nice finish. Caressed it on the inside of the foot, take it far post, and took it first time as well. No second touch, just straight in. Lovely stuff. No
returning back on his money. Returning back on his money. So that's what you want to see from your things. I mean, and I'll talk about our game, but let's talk about people in the chat first of all, and say hello to them as always. Ian Henry, a blinding show of fun and laughter with lovely people. Thank you very much. Hope you're keeping well. What do you make of the defeat to Villa? We'll talk about that shortly. I'm just going to go through the chat first. Are you convinced about United starts? Hot fuzz. We'll talk about that as well. And Anthony does 2-0 against Wolves, still painting the same awful picture, relying on Saka for goals, as 29 is not an out-and-out striker. I think Jez will come back on that one. Good evening, Pepsi. Good evening. Currently 0-9 on my score predictions, but sitting on top in the FPL league. And they're just saying hello to each other as well. Good. Yeah, we're fourth from the start.
Haven't you looked at my FPL?
No, neither have I, actually, saying that. I knew City would beat the Blues, Henry saying. Pepsi, Southgate, swing on me. Currently pointing to West Ham after this weekend's results. Tony to the rescue. Apparently it's between Arsenal, Chelsea and Man United for Tony. So that's the goalposts have changed. Then we'll talk about that as well. I mean, do you believe that?
I mean, apparently, I've heard today that there's somebody that said, I think it's Plettigol, came out and said that Man United have not planned to do anything with Ivan Toney. Like they think that the strike force of Xerxes and Højlund's going to have good availability across the season, that they'll play plenty of minutes. For me, I'd still sign him, but I don't know if the finances quite allow us to free spend. Unless we try and do a loan. If we loan him in for the season with the option to buy for next summer, that might be a plan, and maybe some clubs might have to look into that. But I don't know if Brentford will want to loan their star striker. I think they'd want to cash in, just get the money and run.
Well, say their main striker's still out, isn't he? He's out for quite a majority of the season, so I can't see Toney going as yet. I mean, Jez, do you think Arsenal are reopened talks to get Ivan Toney?
No, I'm not convinced, mate, at all, to be honest. It's quite evident from what I'm being told that we don't need the striker. We've got the players to do it, which I'm sorry, to me is absolute BS. It's quite evident that we haven't got the poacher that we need. That we haven't got that player that's going to get you 20 goals a season, let's say. Yeah, 29, Havertz, he'll get goals. There's no question about that. But he's not going to get you 20 goals.
No.
He's not. No, he never did that. He never did that before, and he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it yet. So, no, I don't believe in that. Apparently, he wasn't in the squad today because of transfer talks. I tend to agree with Fuzzy. Maybe Arsenal might say loan deal, maybe a loan. But personally, I'd rather them went in and said, right, we'll buy him, and you can have Nketiah personally. But that's not going to happen. So at the end of the day, yeah, interesting because do Man United need him? I don't know. Do Arsenal need him? Yes. But we haven't got an out-and-out striker. But seems to be we don't believe we need one. So that's concern to me, man. Concern.
And that's for Chelsea. And then, blimey, how many more people do they actually want to sign? I mean, they've got enough goalkeepers as it is. I know they're talking about with this Lukaku-Oshman thing, that's going to go over the line. That would be interesting. But to get Toney as well, yeah, but I think I mean, in my things, because the striker's injured at Brentford, I don't think he's going to go just yet. And Thomas Frank has said he's quite happy that he's still there, so I think he'll get his chance.
Watch out, rest of the Premier League, because Chelsea have lost 2-0 today, so
yes.
They're going to go out and react. They're going to sign another 20 players just in this next week alone, just to try and rectify that result.
Wow. Good evening, Arsenal Manic. Hope you're well. They're all saying hello to each other. So we got Bottlers evening, big Bottlers and Manchester, nice Peppy. True. I think I'll stick with no sign and slot. Thank you. Yeah, well, got the job over the line. That's the thing, Henry. Good evening, Josh Truguna. Yes, Tony. Hope you're well, mate. I'm good, mate. Hope you are as well. Good, good stream you've done lately. And poor start for the Hammers. Emery's a quality manager, though. We got them next. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, when you look at it, of typical, always comes to haunt us at West Ham that players you've wanted to sign previously. Anana comes up again within 4 minutes. And I've seen some. I didn't actually see the game myself, but I saw highlights, and Anthony just let the man go. I mean, I think they're trying to blame Souček in certain respects. I can see why, but for me, Anthony just literally let him brush past him, and he went and scored an easy goal. And of course, the player we're looking at, during the January during this transfer window, John Duran comes off the bench and then scores a winner for him. How ironic is that? Yes. Whereas before, he was going, he got fined by the club because he was doing this on his ex Insta page and that, and comes up and puts the winner.
It's I mean, what Josh was saying there, Arsenal were away to Villa next week. That is not going to be an easy day out. But according to a certain person on AFTV, Arteta is a better manager than Emery.
Dear me.
And Pep Guardiola is the best manager ever in the Premier League. If you never heard of a bloke called Sir Alex Ferguson? I mean, the man's a clown. How can you compare Arteta to Emery? Emery's won 4 Europa Leagues. Yeah, he's won pretty much something wherever he's gone. When he took over Aston Villa were in a dire situation.
Yeah.
And now he's got them into bloody Europe. I mean, what's going on? What games do these idiots that sit there and they're on YouTube on the biggest Arsenal channel out there and talk absolute bollocks? It's fraudulent. But unfortunately, there is so many people out there that will go along with that. Arteta's won an FA Cup. Yippee do, well done, fantastic. What have you done since?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'll tell you what, right now, if Man City keep going the way they're going, we ain't got a Scooby Doo. We have not got a Scooby Doo.
No. And as you said, people like that, just puts real Arsenal people in the bad light.
Yeah.
Big up, Michael. Sorry, go on, Jess. Go on.
I mean, it was, what was it? Arsenal for the fans and all that. Where you don't speak for me, you prick. Because at the end of the day, I can see right through you. You're just doing it for money. And I'm sorry, I've got no faith and I've got no belief. And you're not going to sit there and tell me that Unai Emery Arteta is better than Unai Emery. I mean, come on, man. Seriously.
Big up Michael, Chelsea FC. Big up Early Doors. Hot Fuzz 44 and Jez. Absolutely landed tonight. Thank you very much, Frank. Hope you all well. And good evening, Barry Clark. Evening, lads. Hope you're well. Evening to Mama Flossie, as always. Evening, Tom, Fuzzy and Jez.
We are, Mama.
Evening to the chat, and they're all saying hello to each other. And good old friend Nick One Fulton. I think one of you just farted. Yeah, Anthony's deadly, Nick. I tell you that now. He'll be in shortly, but he is one of the deadliest ones. Hello, Henry. Michael, please. Good evening to yourself. Poor start of the season, but good night all. Good night to you as well. I can't do a fart donation. Oh, never mind. Evening, Luke. Hope you're well. Okay. Joanne still to join West Ham United before clock window closes. There is still this rumour, and there's a bit of a cryptic message between Villa and I think Emery and that. So, yeah, watch his space. I think, the kid's only 20-year-old, but he looked good when he came on. So, hopefully from that, if we do sign him, all's forgiven, as they say. Good evening, Mike England. Hope you're well, mate. Good evening, panel and the chat. Well done, Early Doors on 400 subscribers as well. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Thanks for that comment. Oh, yeah. Spuds, they got Leicester, haven't they? Will they win tomorrow, I think?
Yeah.
They just sold their DM, one of their DMs, Skip. Sold Skip to them.
Oh, what, to Leicester?
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be great if he, actually, it probably wouldn't happen, but if he was able to make it to the match day squad, comes off the bench and scores, knee slides right the way in front of Big Ange. See steam coming out of his ears. He's like, mate, I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk, mate. Oh, I'm going to walk.
Well, yeah, I mean, because when you think about it, I think looking at the way Spurs have been doing their business, it wouldn't surprise me if you see Ange walk off, because we've already said before, if you listen to his comments, and I don't know, I think he's losing patience fast. Evening, Joanne. How are we doing? Hello, boys. I mean, what do you think about these, used to? I mean, do you think Ange would be that kind of character to walk away from the club?
I can see it. I think he's got standards that say, well, sorry, you haven't backed me, you haven't given me what I needed, and I'm not going to be here to be made a fool. and then you basically the fan base have a go, and the management say, "Well, you're sacked." I mean, it's not bad being sacked as a manager because you get bought out your contracts, you earn a few million.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
let's be honest, Mourinho is brilliant at it.
Yeah. He could just retire for pension on that alone.
Yeah, he don't need to work. I mean, how
Wow.
much did he make out as Chelsea twice?
Cool.
You know what I mean? Man United, Tottenham, Roma. I mean, come on, man.
He's made some serious money.
Yeah.
Michael said they don't need Tony, beat Palace without him, so they will sell him. That's why he was left out of the squad. It could be the case. I mean, it'd be interesting if they're going to get anyone else. I mean, not being funny, it's like Arsenal not needing a striker. Was it Wissa that got the goal for them? To put my head?
And Bomo scored the first one, and Wissa for the second. Bomo scores quite good, to be fair.
I mean, I like both the players. I mean, it's wonder that no one's gone in for them, really, because they are fairly decent, them two.
Yeah.
Last minute saying, I want to know, how did that guy that choke slammed Havertz then struck his neck, and the bloke that put his hands up and Gabriel Jesus' arse crack? How they got away with it? Was it the same player? Where was VAR? Was there anything that happened in that game?
It wasn't the same player, but it's bizarre. It's bizarre in the fact that the Havertz situation is a tussle. Havertz started the foul. It then went on. Havertz was on his back. The guy sort of put his hand around his throat. I mean, he didn't choke him or anything, but the Jesus one was just absolutely out there. I mean, Jesus goes down with the other player. The other player, they get up. Jesus bends over to adjust his boot or his sock, and the bloke grabs his arse. I'm thinking that's potentially sexual harassment.
Yeah, I was going to say, bloody hell.
It wasn't like it was a proper
Wow.
I'm saying, you can understand why Jesus got the ump about it.
Wow.
He reacted, right, and he gets booked. The other guy didn't get booked, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? You either book both of them for the tussle, or you don't do anything. You just say to them, "Grow up, boys. Come on, move on. Let's get on with the game." I don't understand it. I really don't.
Wow. It's a wonder they're just saying that no one's done some meme kind of, showing that when he's kind of grabbed his arse with the words "Get your car, son" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did you play style in 2024? The backsack and crack.
Evening, Frankie. How we doing, mate? Hope you're keeping well. And also to a good old friend, Lenny Moon. Big up, brothers. Big up to yourself as well, Lenny. Hope you're good. We are the team that don't need a striker, as he says there. They're all saying hello to each other. If Arsenal had predicted natural goal scorer, Arsenal would have been 3 or 4 nil up by the hour.
Yep.
Like I shared. Michael saying, VR this season is not to get involved unless it's a blatant mistake now. So all dodgy things will be the ref's fault. Yeah, because I saw the incident with, when the West Ham penalty. And then the commentator saying, first of all, oh, no, there's that was just a tussle of legs. But you see Matty Cash, he purposely keeps his legs intertwined on Souček and actually brings him down. It was clear and obvious in certain respects. But to say that, they were still having an eye on about it, and then you could see that VAR took their time. But yeah, I think justice was served in that respects.
I actually thought this season we were going to bring in the VAR system they used in the Euros, the semi-automated offside thing.
Supposed to have been, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
No. Yeah, well, but I think if you look at it, Marcus probably summed it up right there, though, Jez. If you look at it, So VAR is not to get involved unless it's a blatant mistake.
Okay.
So that's going to be quite interesting because that kind of is quite a broad spectrum word to use.
Yeah, it is.
Pepsi saying, I think Havertz could get 20 goals, but we still need a striker. We'll have to see the betting odds. Oh, yeah, definitely. Let us know what they are, Pepsi. I'm going to pick up Eddie tomorrow and take him to the charity shop. Yeah, he'll just sit there for ages. No one's going to pick him up.
Nope.
Big up our other co-host, Anthony Herbert. Big up, lads. Give us a wave, Jez, and don't forget your pie's in the oven. He's got to put it in there first.
It's not in there yet. I haven't even turned the oven on yet.
Yeah, I saw this as well, Henry. Gomez is leaving Liverpool, possibly to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz, did you enjoy the bogey you picked? That's what he goes out the pitch, yeah, as always. And good evening to King McKell. Trust the process, of course. Wi-Fi is being sorted. Good,
It's
finally.
just me poking my brain.
Another 20 players, facts, Hot Fuzz. Tony seems suspect towards clubs. Is there an issue we don't know about? Well, I think if you look at it, considering you're supposed to have a chat with you guys in the first place, and by all accounts, you was very unhappy with his attitude, and that's the reason why he didn't go for him. But we all and Jez already said it. He's not a yes man, so he wouldn't fit in with that with Arteta's way of doing things. Luke saying Havertz might get 10 15 Prem goals. That would be my guess currently. Last season, Saka got 16. We need more of the same from him. City are a winning machine, though. Absolutely relentless. Yeah, Jez has already said that, Luke.
And they looked awesome today against Chelsea. Even Chelsea was awfully poor. That new guy, the Brazilian player they bought, can't remember his name. But man, he looks dangerous.
Yeah.
He looks proper dangerous.
I'll look out for that. I'll have a look at the highlights. Frank was saying, I was confused why West Ham never played their new signings. Only a couple we played. I think if you look at it, I suppose he's giving the players the benefit of the doubt. This is your opportunity to prove what you can do before I decide to kind of really rip up the old team sheet and start from scratch. I think he's, you've got to kind of stick with the faithful in certain respects. I know it's the opening game and you want to make an impact. But maybe I think that's probably what it could be, was that. Yeah, Marco, absolutely. Mucky not strong enough for an Onana goal. Their second goal was class, though. Yeah, it was. And, fair play to him as well. And I know he kind of tweeted a message to the Villa fans, basically kind of trying to justify himself. But maybe you can read into that just to kind of sweeten what happened with him. Next week are the draws for the UCL. Who does everyone fancy to be in the draw with? Ooh, well.
It's a league this year. It's not so much a draw, is it?
That's the difference, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not really. There's no group stages now. It's a straight draw, and it's the top against the bottom. Well, I don't really understand it. I haven't looked into it enough, but it's going to be interesting. Total new format. Be good to see.
I think I agree with you, Jez. I think it's going to take a while to get your head around it to see how it actually works. But if it does, then fair play to him. But normally you'd like to see how it used to be. But if the new format works, fine.
I think the reason they've done it, this is only my own reason, right? I think they've done it so they want. It's almost like I listened to somebody talking about this who's got more knowledge about it than me. Saying that it's almost like trying to get a Super League format. So you're going to get a situation where it's all the top European teams go through. You're not going to have any minor teams go through. It's just going to be the top boys. So that means Arsenal will be out. There you go.
So by saying that, Jez, do you think then this could possibly be the blueprint for a Super League?
Yeah, I do. I do honestly believe that. I do honestly in Europe. Yeah, I do, because they've called it something the Swiss draw or something. So it's obviously been brought in by UEFA quite clearly, and it seems to me that this is what they're heading down the road of. It's going to be a totally different format, and until this draw comes ahead and it's actually explained in detail how it's going to work. I know somebody last season, I watched somebody talk about it and I thought, okay, but it's going to be different. That is for sure. I think, is it just purely, as this guy was trying to say, that it's going to be to try and get the bigger boys, all the big teams there, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Man United type teams, PSG, all that lot, then is that a good idea? I don't know, because I always personally think it's all the magic of the cup. You can get a smaller team, get through and cause some cup shocks, and why not? I think that's what cup competition should be about. I don't agree necessarily that you should just have the top boys in there to get the views, get the money, and all this and all that. I just think it's going down the wrong road, personally. If that's true, how it's going to be, then I'll have to say, nah, don't agree with it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you make of it, Fuzzy? Do you think it could be the blueprint for a Super League?
I think what I've discussed about this before with UEFA versus this European Super League, and how they're shooting all the ideas down, like, oh, don't do that. We're the legit ones, right? We're the people that you should stick with. Football heritage. Want to keep the good old fashioned things the same.
Even James.
But what they do is they micro adjust all the things and change little by little as you go along, and get it as close to the format that the ESL was originally going to go with, so that eventually it ultimately replaces what the ESL format would be. And then by which point nobody's really angry about it, because all the changes have been very gradual, and nobody's really been sort of too like, oh, I really hate where this is going. It's just, well, it's under the radar. So by the time, let's say 10, 20 years later, you look at the format of the competition, you say, is this a unique competition? Yeah, it is. Does this have any similarities to what ESL was? It has one. Actually, funny you should say that. The competition is practically from start to finish exactly how they described the ESL would be. So ultimately, people then, if they actually deep it by that point, would say, well, the ESL's here, but it's UEFA sticking the flag into the carcass of the ESL people, standing over them. It's like, we've conquered football.
Yeah.
There you go. UEFA continue to reign supreme, and ultimately the competition in ESL is ultimately dead.
Interesting to see what the comments from the chat. I'll pick up with them in a minute. So Frankie's saying it won't be easy for us next week, but we need to come out, press early, and stick it onto them. Because you got Aston Villa, haven't you, next?
Good evening.
AFTV Clown Channel. That's simple. Michael's saying AFTV were the first ones calling for Arteta's head if Arsenal lose a game. Yeah. True. This is true. Michael's saying Margaret.Chelsea FC, always good channels to watch if you need entertaining. Great show, love the old score opinions. Thanks, Frankie, as always. Big up Bar Gav, hope you're well. Big up Early Doors. Kudos looked good in that first game. Yeah, he did look good. I think we've still got a lot more to come on that. I mean, Paqueta didn't do too bad. Nicely taken penalty as well. I thought you should kind of fight. Okay. It was tontified. It sounded wet. Jesus, Anthony. I'm going to watch a real manager and his team tomorrow on the box. Simeone. Nice one. They're all saying who's fired. We hate Spurs, but Levy gets players out the door for decent money. I just saying that. So does Pep Guardiola as well.
Gets them in for even better money.
Absolutely, yeah. Henry saying Steve Cooper boss, the onus is to shift from Vardy. Yeah. Evening, Matt. What is it with all these teams selling their homegrown players, and yet Chelsea have like 40-odd players and 8 goalies? True. Well, the one that would be able to answer that would be Michael himself. Yardman was the only highlight yesterday. The rest, typical as ever. Arteta's fan club that will think he's Justin Bieber. Jesus. Week one, Fulton. Glad I managed to catch the stream today and enjoyed the stream. The three of you have totally been really interesting to listen to. Cheers, Nick. Appreciate that. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, bro.
Good evening. Evening, Jack. How are you, mate? Evening, boys. Coming on my way to Stansted Airport. Make sure the boys look after you. That's where I'll work, Jack. Make sure they give you a good old kicking on the way out. Off to Poland for a week's break. Have a good show. Thanks, mate. Yeah, we got beat by Brentford through a robbery. Ooh. Interesting. Frankie's saying the talk is Tony going to Saudi.
He has had the Saudi link.
Yeah, don't you think? Don't you think it's a bit early in his career to do that?
Yeah, but then we've had a few players do it. I mean, look at the ones that went to China for big money. I'm trying to think the bloody names there. There's a few of them went to China, didn't they?
Is that all they're playing for now? Fuzzy, is that all they're playing for now? Is it just pure money, 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 money? There's no love in the game anymore.
I mean, yeah, younger players, I think, are much more easily influenced by money. The older players probably a bit 50-50 because you get the older players that sort of value the competitions that they've played in quite substantially more than a younger player does. I mean, you'll probably get younger guys that are just like, well, I'd like to move to my dream club. But half of them know that, well, yeah, that's never going to happen. So Saudi, you know, okay, there's a couple good players over in Saudi, but, you know, I'll get way more money in Saudi. It sets me up for life without really having to sweat it too much. I mean, the only thing really that I'm sweating is from the heat, and that's it. The league's not all that competitive over there. Plus, all the teams are basically in a league that's financing them. Literally, a public investment fund is financing the whole league. It's like if the FA were paying for all the Premier League clubs to buy all the players. But, rather than the clubs actually earning their keep for themselves. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a younger guy that made the jump to Saudi as well. I think his name was Jota.
Yes.
Jota guy, I think a couple of years back, made a big money move as a younger player. And I think that at the time stirred a bit of controversy about the Saudi league being on the rise. And everyone was a bit sort of like, I'm nervous that the Saudi league is going to kill all the other leagues around Europe. And then you start to see the younger players going, that it sort of makes you feel a little bit worse. But yeah, I think he ended up coming back after a year.
Because he went, I think he got crazy money wages. I think he said though what it would do, it will set his family up for life and the family after that as well. That's the reason why he went out there, to make sure everyone in his family has a good life. But not being funny, he'd just do one season as a Premier League player. That's you set up for life anyway. So. Bit of an understatement in that respects. There's one I started here for you though, Jez. Joanne's saying, I'm worried about next week. We've got Villa. Could be a good evening for Emery.
I'm concerned about that. Villa Park is not an easy place to go anyway. They've got a great fan base, really noisy. Emery, you know he's going to want Tuck Arthur up. You know that.
Yeah.
You know, he did it last year, and I can see him. I tell you what, if they beat us next Saturday, then there's got to be questions of saying, Mr. Arteta, you haven't developed the squad. And unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of the fan base that we all know that support Arteta. It is only one game. Well, I look at that and I say, okay, the game I watched today with Manchester City against Chelsea, mate, I tell you what, they're going to be relentless. If he keeps all his players, or 98% of his players fit, we're all in trouble. We're all in trouble. You know,
number 5.
Walk it, because I think Pep Guardiola right now is thinking, I'm going for this big time, and yeah, so it's going to be a big ask, Joe. Big ask. Go up there. Have we got the squad to do it? No. Fact.
Interesting. Just go back to Michael's comment though. Yeah, but when you have three fans with different opinions, no bias, and that's what the Sunday night takeaway is all about. And that, you know, everyone have a little chat and chinwag about the games, about ourselves, and obviously ribbing each other at the same time. It's all fun and laughter and banter, but at the same point, yeah, we don't argue. That's one good thing about it. We just kind of talk about our clubs, and the biases comes after.
The only thing massive about West Ham, though, yesterday was the massive L that they held to Unai Emery.
It's true. Absolutely. Like I said, that's the reason why I'm wearing black tonight. Frank is saying no one seems to be interested in him. No, they don't. I think, you know, Tony's unfortunately built his own barrier against other clubs. Mark was saying, even more so when the Arsenal lose, and it's 100% worth it. Well, don't worry, Jake. You'll tear for us like you did in pre-season next week. Big up, Eros. Big up, gentlemen. Where's John Cena at the Armory? He's unfortunately sat on his router and that, and he's disabled his Wi-Fi, so he's trying to put it all back together at the moment. Hopefully, he'll join us at some point, but it's not looking good for him.
Tractor up to get some
do the generator. Bargev says, "What would you say was the goal of the weekend?" Oof.
I need to have a look at all the goals.
Same here, really. I mean, obviously, I know Duran scored a good goal, and by all accounts, Saka's goal was pretty decent as well.
I'm trying to be non-biased here and think of the goals that I saw. Yeah, it's a very good question, actually. Very good question. I'm trying to think of the guy. Can't think of his name. For Liverpool. What's his name? That was a good goal.
Have a look.
Kovacic today. That was a good goal.
Yes. Yeah.
Diego Jota.
Jota. Yeah.
Was it Jota or Salah?
I'd say Jota, actually. Also, Saka will be in there. That was class. But overall, I will bounce with Kovacic for Chelsea. I thought he took that exceptionally well.
Big up to CPFC Paddy. Bad day for the Palace. Big up to the Goat Saves Football. We go early doors football and panel and the chat as well. Morning, Tony. Yeah, it's you know, you'd hope that the start for Lopetegui would go well, but like I said, I think hopefully he's giving people the opportunity to see what they can do for the opening game. Hopefully, from that point onwards, we're going to see changes in the next couple of weeks. The Goat Saves Football back in the UK today. Yes, we're leaving Fuzzy out to see out there. Back in the UK today after 45 minutes delayed playing. Ooh, hope all well, mate. Saying hello to there. Good gameplay, but than Villa. Jez from James Lamprey. I know it was the first game, but Arsenal didn't look convincing to me. Same shit, different smell. Nothing has changed since last season.
Totally right, James. Totally right. Started off okay, 1-0 up, and we sit back. And as somebody said when I was watching the game yesterday afternoon, I thought we'd stop watching Southgate football, you know, because at the end of the day, if you go 1-0 up against a team, just punish them and punish them and punish them and punish them. Because all we did, we scored that goal, right? Nice goal from Havertz, great header, nice assist from Saka, but we didn't grow on it. We just then went back and we were like lolloping about. Wolves were playing a high line, and it was quite evident, right, yesterday. I said this to Yeti when we were doing the watch log. Arsenal, because they're playing such a high line, there was 3 or 4 occasions where we nearly caught them on the break. Martinelli twice, right, in the second half, was skinned their midfield, but the fact he runs with his head down, he didn't see the defender coming towards him. And that is something, he's done that now for 2 seasons, so he hasn't improved.
Yeah.
that is a concern for me. I still think he's lost half a yard of pace. That, he's not going to be the out-and-out striker that he once was under Emery. When Emery brought him in, man, he was our striker, one of our strikers.
Yeah.
Now, no, I'm not seeing it anymore. Interesting that he actually subbed Sakharov, right? And I actually damn near predicted it. The first sub, I said to Yeti, 65 minutes you'll make a sub, but it was 68. So I was pretty bloody close.
Yeah.
Right? It's damn too predictable. But yeah, we're not going to win the league playing like that, mate.
Wow. Good evening, Christian. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Evening, chaps. Yeah, Jack, you want to see Christian here look after you at Stansted? He'll make sure you get a good old kick in. Nick saying, yesterday it looked like to me like the players just really didn't understand how to play in Lopetegui's system. Like Lopetegui has come on and told them to do a million things and they're only. Yeah, because I did hear, Nick, that there was some long ball stuff going on as well, which is a bit not good for me. I don't want to see long ball merchants, that's for sure. Trying to be turning into that kind of Bolton team, that's for, or Wimbledon.
Stoke.
Michael. Stoke as well, yeah. Oh, there you go. Jez, semi-auto is from January, he believes.
Oh, okay.
For the VAR.
Okay. Nice one.
Remembering a few bits he's told them to do, which probably led to the feeling of some of this looks like last season. Yeah, I did hear some people saying they saw a bit of Moisey in the team yesterday. That makes sense. They got into the pitch, each player's remembering. Yeah. Different bits and confusion. Yeah. Hopefully you sort it out anyway.
Would have won that game if you just played Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, exactly. Nick saying, we're trying to learn a new way of playing. Half the squad didn't do it all together. Then you add on the new signings on top of that. I understand why he didn't want to start them all, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good. He didn't mean to do all the pre-season together. Jack's also saying, yeah, semi-automated offsides are coming after international break. Apparently, don't know why it's not ready now to do the Premier League. Officials need the pre-season off too. too much to keep all typing, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. Even the usual suspects, evening all he's saying to everyone. And Frankie's saying, thoughts on Arsenal's bench yesterday. Very weak, plus 3 players up for sale and no Kivior.
He's injured. Kivior's injured.
Oh, is he? Right.
I've got 3 players out injured. But yeah, it's not a great bench. I mean, hey, hello. Nketiah was on the bench. I thought you were going to get rid of him.
Wow.
He's there. Didn't come on. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
We've alluded to that. One's not been sold. How many deals it's been going for this player and he's still there.
Yeah, I was looking at Arsenal's bench yesterday, and I'm like, even with the injuries you got with Tierney, Tomiyasu, Kivior, just a couple names that are missing. That's Arsenal's probably as strong as Arsenal's bench gets.
Yep,
and that's weak.
Wow,
that's weak. It's like Man United's bench last season.
No, yeah,
that wasn't even competitive. So that's going to be a massive issue. There's only like 2 or 3 substitutions Arsenal can make all season long.
That's not good, is it?
That is unbelievable.
Savio, he's the one to watch, Michael saying. You said that as well, Jez, didn't you? That's teaser.
He looks absolutely that fella.
Evening, Budgie. Evening, Tony. My apologies for my absence, but you really don't want a drunk Budgie on there talking absolute white.
No, brilliant.
Hope you're well, mate. It's good to see you as well. They're all saying hello to each other. Big up Stephanie Griffiths, Fuzzy, Tony, and Jez. You got 3 likes so far, Fuzz.
Yeah, gaps.
Joan, Arsenal are fine. Do you know why? Because they're all good looking and have a good looking manager. Did you see the clip of the interview?
Yeah. I wouldn't say Havertz is particularly good looking.
He looks like he's done all sorts of lines and then stumbled his way onto the pitch.
Yeah. He looks like to be honest, Fuzzy, he looks like a bloke, right? Yeah. He looks like a bloke that's been on it all night, yeah, and he's somehow got through into the actual dressing room and thought, oh, and somebody's gone, oh, right, you signing? Okay, put your kit on, get out there.
Wow.
It's the sort of person, right, that gets absolutely wasted, right, and then wakes up in a different country, and he's just sort of stumbled in there through the door. So it's like, guys, where am I?
Yeah.
You're at the Emirates, mate. Arsenal are about to kick off. Like, oh, sit. You guys go for a kick. But let me go. Let me start. I'll play you. I'll be your striker.
Come on, have a join us.
I'll be your striker. Don't worry. I'm lethal in front of goal. Trust me. Trust me. I'm lethal.
Yeah. Okay, mate. I'm making you a contract for 200. 200 there you go. Just sign here. Just sign it with a bulk paper.
It's his signature doesn't stay within the box and on the line. He signs it all over the sheet.
Yeah, you'll do. Michael Chelsea saying, my man of the match today was Jeremy Doku. Today was a massive standout, he thought.
Yeah, I thought he was, don't know. I thought there was a couple of contenders there today for them.
Good evening to the assembled. Good evening, gentlemen, and to the chat room. Hope you're keeping well. Good seeing you, as always. Usual evening, Budgie. Hi, Mama. Usual, and all you beautiful people. Michael was saying UCL is 8 games, 4 home, 4 away, and may not get the same team. To the big boys though through. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It seems to. I don't understand it. It's going to be like a tier system on how it works. So I don't know. Be interesting. Be very interesting.
I think it will be. Henry saying, in my opinion, I think why can't messing with things that don't need fixing and fix the VAR process with those who use it. Yeah, well, I think as Jez said, hopefully what they use in the Euros, we'll see if it is going to be generally like Michael and Jack said. It will improve things, but unfortunately, we are talking about our officials running it, so we know that's probably not going to be the case. Nice. Thank you, Stephanie. Evening, Aaron. Hope we keep them well. Evening, gents. Big up the chat. We'll sound like each other.
Great chat last night, Aaron. Great chat last night with the Yeti. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant. Nick saying a lot of our squad hasn't played much of a pre-season together too, so changing to Lopetegui's system on top of new signings. But it went back to what the players know. He's having to teach the new style. Yeah, true. I think that's what it is. And while we're playing league games, that's probably why he didn't play our new players from the start. We'll probably adjust over time as players learn the system. Let's hope so. I think that's my way of seeing it. You know, you start off with what you finished with, and bring the new boys in afterwards. The usual says Doku has some sort of speed. Yeah, he is fast, isn't he?
Yeah, he's quick.
If you give him the opportunity, that's for sure.
Explosive speed. Quick to get off the mark, and I think that's what you usually notice more so than top speed. It's just the half yards that he just gets out of absolutely nowhere.
Swiss roll, it's called Jezzy saying. Might be Will Sweetie. Yeah, Super League is around the corner. Yeah, not far off from there. Good. The assembled. Without a doubt, the Super League will happen. It's a matter of time. I remember them talking about the Premiership before it happened. Yeah, money motivated, they're saying. Usual aspect, he's got abundance of speed, but very little end product. Ben Rummer comes to mind. Yeah, that's true. 115 charges. Man City may only have the Super League as an option. Ooh, imagine it. Good evening, Joe Eaton. Casemiro's back. Would you say that, Fuzz? He didn't look too bad.
I mean, when he's not getting exposed, he's quite decent. But the problem is because the defensive line's so deep, you need someone who's got pace to actually compensate that. So when you play a slow player, they look a lot worse in a defensive scenario. And that's the biggest problem that we had, not just going into this season, but last season as well. It takes one pass to take Casemiro out of the game. Just one. And that's got to be addressed. And we saw some of the same problems that we had last season in Friday night's game. So it's one of two things that got to happen. You either sign a DM that's quick and he can actually operate in those spaces, or you start a centre-back partnership that pushes up the pitch and gets closer to the midfielders. And Ten Hag pointed that out as well. He said we need to push the line higher to stop the space camp arriving in behind the DMs. Because otherwise, everyone's going to have a field day.
Wow. Interesting. I mean, was he one that's supposed to be moved on, or is he still in the plans to stay? Or
he was meant to be moved on, but because with his wages about 300k a week, there's only really one market that would afford that, and that's the Saudi Arabian market. Yeah. The second they turn off their interest, that's it. He's not going. No matter how hard or how much you want to sell the guy, he will not go. I don't think even the MLS would be interested in entertaining. Plus, they've got a salary cap. And I think that his wages are probably just over salary caps over there. Oh. But who knows what will happen next summer.
Well, I've just got to go by this comment here because fair play to Budgie. I'm actually smashed, Mama. Been drinking since yesterday around 3 p.m. Bloody hell, Budgie.
I'm surprised.
That's proper old school.
Yeah, true. Absolutely, Jez. Yeah.
I'm actually amazed that the sentences are coherent. He's probably using a phone getting all the autocorrect out in full abundance, but
he's probably got something else typing, mate.
Nice one, Budgie. Mama's saying there. Frankie's going, that's why the Champions League has changed. Even the Euros just got third place. 1 point gets you through, though. It's money. Yeah, definitely. Got a question here from the Assembled for you, Jez. Jez, do you think there will be a World League eventually? Oh, that's a good question.
I would not be at all surprised in about 20 years' time.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Maybe give the club
I can honestly say the big boys, Man United, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, out of the UK. Then you've got Barcelona, Real Madrid. I can honestly see 4 top teams out of the Bundesliga, La Liga, Ligue 1, Premier League, South America. I don't know what it's called. I'm talking about down there, Brazil, and all that lot. I could see that. I could see 2 divisions as well.
Wow.
I could see that. Seriously.
Big money.
Oh, huge. I mean, huge. But I think it'll ruin the game.
Absolutely. We know it's going already, Jez, don't we? That's the thing, That would just kind of push it over the edge. Matt saying, hey, Tony and chat, great to be here as always. No, thanks, Matt, for coming in. Appreciate that as always. Arteta's number 1 pickpocket. Emery will beat Super Duper Mick next week. Hate to say, this is true. Yeah, I think we all got the same thing. And big up to Aguna Matata. Big up Irons and real ones. Only I have now had to add, love you all. Absolutely, mate. Thank you. But yeah, I think if you look at Emery's, and he seems to have a number over Arteta, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's a top level manager. I mean, I have the utmost respect for Unai Emery because I didn't want him to get binned out of Arsenal. I thought when we left Los Wenger and he came in, I thought, oh yeah, we've got a decent manager here, proven, especially in Europe. And I thought, here we go. And then they obviously they were obviously looking to get Arteta in. God knows why. What they saw in this, I've no idea. But I think, honestly, I'm going to say, I think this season, guys, my prediction, you can clip this, right? I think this season, Arteta is going to be found out.
Oof. Do you think time's going to run short on this? His luck's going to run out, basically. So he seems to have been backed and getting away with it. And now, yeah, it's probably a good shout there, Jez, because if you don't win nothing this year, then yes, definitely the club's got to kind of sit up and think, hold on, where do we go from here now?
She was nearly £1 billion spent. Getting close to it. So I can say, Josh Kroenke was there yesterday. And when I was watching it on the TV, he was looking towards the end. He was like, he didn't look happy. He did not look very happy. And I'm thinking, maybe you're thinking, could be doing better. But hey, time will tell. Time will tell.
True. Matt saying nobody seems to be leaving for China now. It's Saudi taking over. I think with China they actually imposed taxes, didn't they, on the signings, I believe, and that's what basically priced itself out because I think they didn't want too many foreign players coming in.
Don't know.
I don't think it matters, Jez. It's all about the dollar signs of players. Yeah, 100% Jez. All about the money. Panel, big up to yourself as Guna. Oscar at Chelsea went to China. He was still young. Yeah, that's true. He did. Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I'd say it's number one pickpocket. How do you guys rate Villa's performance yesterday? For me, and that from what the highlights I saw, and that I'll give it a strong 7. I wouldn't give it an 8. I mean, they look good, but I think if you look at it, we've got a new manager in, new players. So in that respect, it's still everyone's kind of probably on tenterhooks, trying to please the boss, trying to please the fans, seeing where we go with this game. And not being funny, I mean, it's a good win for Villa, don't get me wrong, because at the end of the day, they always seem to have struggled when they come to the London Stadium, whereas, yeah, I think it's still about transition at West Ham at the moment with all the players we've brought in as well. So it's not an easy fix straight away for West Ham. I mean, what do you guys think, by Pickpocket's question?
Well, Fuzzy, you go first, man. Fuzzy, you go first.
Villa's performance yesterday, I mean, I was kind of hoping it would end up being a draw because then it means more points for my predictors. But I think what I think about Villa is that Unai Emery's not necessarily ever going to be that sort of manager where his teams just score goals for fun. It's always going to be a close scoreline, but it's the sort of lack of, say, panic that you sometimes get with some teams with, when they're in possession or in certain situations. And Unai Emery's team, that he likes to coach them with confidence and composure. And I think with the West Ham team, you probably would have expected, West Ham after the summer they've had, that everyone's on cloud 9. A bit of a sort of, let's go get them type feeling from the players in the home dressing room. But I think Villa were just like, chill at Holmes, chill little homie. We'll play it. They play the game at our pace, yeah. And sure, you get a little sort of hopeful goal, equaliser, and goes back in the favour of Aston Villa because they just picked their moment. Yeah, right there, and then goal. See you later. That's it.
I mean, how did you see it, Jez? Did you see much of the game?
I did see the game. Yeah, I did. I did a watch along for that. I just thought maybe you looked a little bit disjointed. I got the honest opinion that I felt you lot were a little bit holding back. I don't know how to describe it. You weren't free flowing enough.
Yeah.
Bowen, I thought looked very good, but I just think maybe yes, you said that it's your new manager. It's that sort of thing. You're trying to adjust to the style of play, what he's trying to get, the philosophy he wants you guys to play to. Whereas Villa have had Emery now, for a lot longer, so they're settled into the way he wants them to play, and they're set up for it, right? So I think that made a bit of difference yesterday. I honestly think once you get a formation set up, you've bought some good players. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
Right? I think once they all settle into the format that your manager wants to play, I think you'll be a decent side. I'm not saying you're going to rip up and go storming the Premier League, but I think you could do a decent cup run.
Yeah. I think that's the intention, Jez. When looking at the signings, for me, I think it's we want to get back into Europe. I think that's the key one.
Yeah,
we've got these signings in, and we get a cup run going. I think that'd be nice as well to do that.
I think that would be a good ambition if you have a good run. I feel sick saying this, but that one behind you right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know that one.
Could be a good option for you boys, but
Be nice. Would be nice.
we'll see. We'll see.
As Budgie says, smash the like button like it's a gorilla on your granny. And don't forget also to make sure you go over to Hot Fuzz 44 and also the Arsenal History and More. Make sure you smash a like onto their channels as well, please. It all helps, guys. Please do. Mark was saying here, it's always been about money, hence the greedy six find it hard to move players on like they pay too much rather than FSR like a wage cap. Yeah, I think we all do, but unfortunately that Bosman ruling has wiped that out unless they kind of change it, but I can't see that. You're quite right. Villa winning. CPFC for Paddy says, here's a question, Jez. As an ex-ref, don't know if you watched the game, but were Palace robbed of a goal? That Eze free kick ruled out because of that Will Hughes foul.
Yeah, that was a disgrace. Absolute. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I thought, what? What's going on here? It's a tussle amongst the players, right? Totally out of context to what was going on. Yeah, I think the referee there was a little bit naive. Got maybe caught up with the occasion. I believe that's his first Premier League game. So I think maybe you got a little bit in front of yourself, and maybe I hope you'll learn from that. That to me was all it was, right? You've got Eze out there, right? Yeah, 25 odd yards out there, taking a free kick, a direct free kick, and you've got the players in the 18 yard, which are always going to tussle. It happens every time, right? There's no major incident, right? Great free kick, great goal. That would have been the goal of the weekend, in my opinion, right? So they fall over, and the referee just really should have stepped away from that. I think that was stupid, personally.
Yeah. So the referee blew the ball because it crossed the line. The referee had blown the whistle. I think VAR were allowed the goal. So there's that benefit the doubt was supposed to have talked about. After losing home and away, Arsenal have to go to Villa and get 3 points. Simple as that. Anything else is unacceptable. And Goonie asked Kovacic, agreeing on that question. The Arteta fan will not call for change of manager until they get the memo from the board. The generator. Frank, you're saying, yes, they proved we were great for 20 minutes, scored and sat back, balls were played across the box, but no predator. CPCF Paddy saying, I think Arsenal will draw against Villa unless we defend the way we did against Wolves. I mean, fun enough, we've got Palace next, so that's going to be quite an interesting game for us to see where we go on there. Okay. The assembled Frankie the Saviour is seeing something again as a genius as a plan again. Yeah. JM Sirish, Jota. Also, cheers, my girl. Yeah. Arteta's number one pickpocket. I watched La Liga in the weekend, and the players' technique levels above the Premier League. It was great to watch Premier League, just as the best PR. Yeah, I mean, and I suppose that's the problem, isn't it? We all seem to kind of work off the same hymn sheet. Most teams these days, try and play out the back, inverted fullbacks, maybe use the wings, hope for the best sometimes up top.
True. I totally agree with you. That it's all a bit too similar for my life.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a way of looking at it, Jez. They probably think we sell a player to another Premier League club. It's just easy for the player. Just move on. We play the same system. Great. I can just start off straight away. Matt saying, I heard a rumour that Alvarez might be back after the international break in September. Yeah, because apparently he was injured, so they say. Don't know how true that is or not. Marcus followed up. Yeah, Alvarez back in 2 weeks. Maybe he's training on the grass now. That's good to hear. Yeah. Good to see him play. Because actually, we played Guido yesterday, Rodriguez. Did okay. But I don't know. Just got to see where he goes from that point. Henry's saying, I saw the LFC game on Match of the Day. We were poor first half. They should have had a red for a handball on the halfway line. When Ipswich play on the ground, and Jota should have had 2 goals, and Salah is Salah. Yeah, true. I mean, it was good to see Ipswich return. Was it 22 years since they've been?
24 years. Yeah.
24 years. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it's good to see them back in it. I mean, it's been a long time. Hopefully they'll do well. The assembled. Jez, to be honest, totally honest, Arsenal are a representation of the manager.
Yep.
Agree on that one.
Right.
Goal of the weekend is yet to come. Vardy, 90th minute winner versus the scum.
There's a question for you guys. Here's a question, right? I was led to believe that Leicester was due to get a 10-point deduction when they came into the league. I've not heard anything about that. Have you?
No, that's true. Yeah, it's got a bit quiet, hasn't it, on the radar of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not wishing it on them. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want them to get a 10-point.
Yeah.
But that's what I heard. So
You know
maybe
how this Premier League works, though, Jez? You can just imagine it. They let them play that first game, and then they say, "Oh yeah, by the way,
yeah.
we've got this to give. We've got this to give you. We forgot to give it to you before the season started."
Interesting.
Anthony get Virgin to fix Wi-Fi, not they're awful. Yeah, well, Anthony's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Budgie saying 1980 FA Cup final as your backdrop, Tony. I like it. Jez loves it as well, Budgie. He really does love it. Don't care what he says. But we're also the most recent European champions too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all.
Budgie, we got you out, mate. Much as I love you. I love you, brother. Yeah.
Barry Clark saying playing Suchik for the whole 90 minutes, he got the chances to fuck it all up. I think James Ward-Prowse needs to pair with Rodriguez and Paquette. Yeah, I heard he didn't play too well, Barry. If you can confirm that, I think Suchik was a fault for sinking the day. Frank saying smash the likes, giving some love here. Great panel. Thanks so much, Frankie. Appreciate that. Kudos Waste on the left is right winger with number 10. Yeah, totally agree on that. Maybe, as I say, Michael, he's just going to blood in, Gilherme or, and Somerville. We've got to see them. Usual suspect. Smith Rowe didn't look happy being taken off on a Friday night. No, he didn't, did he?
Didn't, no.
No, didn't look at all. But fair play to the manager. Blood him in. Is he fully fit? Probably not. So, well, what player likes to be taken off? When you think about it, no player likes to be taken off.
Didn't have a great game though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, considering what he's done in the friendlies, you expected a little bit more, but maybe that's the reason. But yeah, the players are players at the end of the day. Crack everyone. Gavin, hope you're doing. O'Flatterly, hope you're doing well. Arsenal Manic, we're not allowed to question the bench according to the chosen fans. Bench is fixed. 10 out of 10 window. Mark for Chelsea FC. AFTV's Robbie said Arsenal's bench was very strong yesterday. Jesus, wet.
I don't know what bench he's watching.
Bloody hell. I've done a Havertz and woke up in a different country, but not country. Big up, gents. Big up, Aaron. Mark was saying, my biggest complaint with officials is if the player is offside, raise a flag, don't wait till someone gets yeah.
Don't do that anymore, do they?
No, it's the class is, what's it, the benefit of the doubt, is it, Jez? I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
Evans looks like Count Dracula. Yep, still does.
Yeah.
True.
He just needs the cape. He just needs the big cape.
EOS says, thought Martinelli played well, Jess. Set up chances in the box to Havertz and Party, only for them to scuff the hell out of their shots. Jesus.
Yeah, but I don't like it, Ross, when he had the ability twice yesterday to spin those. The ball was passed through to him. It's almost one-on-one, and he just runs with his head down all the time. And I'm thinking, you're running into trouble here, fella. And he ran into trouble twice. I'm not disagreeing with you. He did play in a couple of nice balls, but Partey, mate, was shocking yesterday. Bloody awful. Awful. Hey, there we go.
In my opinion, Somerville is the one to watch this season. He comes with high expectation and none greater than his own. True, he's electric. Yeah, we're looking forward to that one as well. Leeds Player of the Year. So let's see what we can do for us.
Good option.
And Jez, yeah, mate, having a chat with you, bud. Pleasure's all mine. Very much enjoyed. Glad you did, mate.
Yeah, good fun, man. Good fun.
Pig Venus. Good evening, guys. Good evening to Pig Venus. Hope you're doing well. James Lamprey, Pep buys one player, Salvio quality. Instantly, the levels rise at City, and their bench was awesome today. Can walk into most teams.
Yeah.
That's the difference, isn't it? That's the benchmark, I think, for most people.
Players out on the bench. Grealish didn't get on.
Mm.
You know, I mean, their bench is like. Well, I look at our bench compared to their bench. I think, oh my days, come on.
Yeah, Phil Foden on the bench, Nathan Ake, McAtee, who's getting his breakout season, Nunes,
Unbelievable,
John
man.
Stones, Kyle Walker. Rodri's still got to come back, by the way, guys.
Oh, of course, yeah, bloody hell, we've got all
No,
about it.
Rodri at all.
Turn the other one, mate. All right, I'll be back. All right.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, man. Second, I mean, City dominating today. You get Rodri back in that team. Hey, it's over. It's over.
Yes. Yeah.
No chance. Until, of course, mighty Arsenal rock up to the Etihad. They're singing and dancing. Oh, we're going to smash them. We're going to smash them. And they hold 7 to City.
Wow. Edu looked petrified. Cheers, Aaron. Spot on with everything you said. Definitely near the channel. It's good. I have to catch up on that now, and I want to see what your comments were like. But it was really good. Yeah, I agree. Cheers about Emery. Frankly, I'll tell you, we'll have to go. He's getting away with it since we won the FA Cup. We've gone out in the 4th round the last 4 years. Not good. Cyril, Jez, they wanted Arteta before Emery. I wonder how the PR will spin Villa finishing higher than Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, I won't be surprised. Be fair. Look. This is a true point. Kenny said this the other day. Right, Kenny. Arsenal really are 2 injuries away. Right, as we stand right now, we're 2 injuries away from fighting for a 4th.
It's like I said, you can only make 3 substitutions. So if 2 players go out of your first team, oh great, 1 sub.
Yeah.
Wow.
If Saka gets injured, say, and our top striker, let's say Havertz, yeah, our top striker, yeah, right, then we're dusted. Just saying.
Wow. Or even worse,
Bloody
if Declan Rice gets injured.
Yeah, true. Thanks.
You can't bring Mr. Trusty Mohamed El Sideways.
Not anymore.
Can't ask him to do a job for a little while.
Nope.
No Xhaka, just Partey. That's it. Jorginho. But
No.
Welcome, Christopher Ryan. Big up the panel, just sub. Thank you very much, sir, and thanks for being on board. And welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing.
Yeah, Christopher.
Matt, apparently the referee told Eze post-match he made a mistake and should have allowed the goal. That doesn't help, does it?
Yeah.
When the referees do that, I mean, it's bad enough last season when we saw the VAR and them admitting the mistakes they made. But all right, I mean, it's all right a referee saying it, but yeah, it doesn't make make it any better.
Well, it doesn't make you feel like you've got strawberries in your mouth, does it?
Oh, mate, not at all. Alfie Brindle, stop the boats. Arteta out, Joey Barton in. Good evening to you as well, mate. ICFMer, good evening. I don't know whether to laugh or drink supporting West Ham. Both, all of them, all together, ICFMer. I think that's the way we are. Yeah, laugh or drink, support West Ham. Jesus, yeah. I mean, we've been through the mill, put it that way, and we're used to it.
listen, right, there might be a little bit of method to my madness when I said that West Ham could have the best transfer window of any club in history and still finish bottom half of the table.
Could do, yeah, absolutely. It's still possible, isn't it? I mean, I think if you look at it, yeah, I mean, when any new manager comes in, you've still got to kind of blood them all in. And well, you mentioned you I just thought you talked about us and 8 players. You imagine Mascherano at Chelsea in there and the 80 million players he's got to try and blood in. I mean, what chance does he have?
Mr. Eyeliner, Mascara.
Jesus Christ.
Holding to a City team without a Rodri. You know?
Yeah.
And It's not just the big games, because the players that they've got want to live up to the big game performances. It's the smaller teams you've got to watch out for. The ones where you get the arrogance seeping out of some of those players.
Yep.
Because then you get that's where the real embarrassments come from. I think there'll be a lot of teams out to hurt them.
Fuzzy, that's a great point you've just made there. I'll tell you for why. Right, Portman Road, Ipswich. That's that. I've been there on a few occasions. That's not an easy place to go and play.
No,
that's a decent stadium.
It's tricky. It's a tight little ground, bit like how Highbury used to be, and the fans are right on top of you. So I wouldn't say it's going to be a walkover for teams going there.
Well, look at Liverpool. They by all accounts, what I heard on the commentary when I was driving yesterday, Ipswich give them quite a bit of a game.
First half, they did, yeah.
Yeah, they give them quite a bit of a game in the first half. So, yeah, I think they might hold their own. But I agree with what you said there, Jet. When you look at it, Portman Road, is a tight old place to go to. Frank is saying, why West Ham looked a bit cagey. I was disappointed. Thought they would have been a bit more on the front foot. Seemed a bit rigid. I mean, Jez already said to it, yeah, we was a little bit cagey. But I think there's all the changes that we said. Michael saying, question for the panel. Do you think Everton will run out of lives this season?
Question. Hope not. Hope not. I like Everton. But
they always,
My question is this. They're moving into their new stadium, I think, in January. I think it is. We all know what it's like, don't we?
Yeah.
Moving to new stadiums. It's a big, big change. Everything, is totally alien and different. If they're in trouble, let's say theoretically, I hope not. I really like Everton. And they're the second longest team in top flight football not to have been relegated. So I wish them well. But if they're in trouble at Christmas and they move into their new stadium, it could be a real kickback.
Yeah.
That's my view, opinion.
Budgie saying, bring back the 4-2-4 formation. It would confuse the heck out of 90% of managers. Yeah, true. Anthony's cousin, Wurzel Herbert. Where is the lazy prick tonight? He's still trying to work out how to connect his tractor to the generator to power the rest of the house at the moment, so his Wi-Fi can work.
Trying to figure out which.
Yeah, he's trying
to figure out which. He's trying to figure out which way up the USB cable goes into the port.
He can't still have trouble getting into StreamYard, surely.
Well, we're talking about Anthony, Jez. He's got one of them USB-C cables and trying to plug it into a USB cable. It's not just working for him,
Has he got a Nokia 8660 phone or something?
Do you remember them? Wow.
Yeah, I've still got one.
Have you?
I have, and in the box.
I mean, that's worth a few bob, them, Jez. I mean, I've still got my old Nokia Mercury 1-to-1 phone.
Have you really?
God, mate, remember? Yeah, when you look at them now compared to things, Jesus.
Well, actually, the other day, the wife, I'd forgotten all about this. Right, the wife's having a massive clear out of the loft, huge. Right, and she said, "What's this?" And I said, "What?" She brought it down. It's in a bag, right, like a shoulder bag thing like that, yeah. And it was my first ever original car phone, which I had when I was working at British Gas, and it was a Motorola.
Oh, the old motor,
right?
Yeah,
old handset like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had to, if you took it out of the car, you had to take the transceiver out the boot. Plug the handset into it, put it into your handbag thing.
That's it, yeah.
And it had a battery life for about 30 minutes. Yeah. And I said, I'll tell you what, that's probably worth a few quid,
Cool. Hell, man.
In another bag she found, sorry to bore you with this, she found all the original car kit, the holder, the speaker phone up that was up there on the above
Wow.
the bob, all the wiring loom. Right, I had that in a J registration Vauxhall Cavalier 1.6 SRI. Right, as a company car when I was at British Gas, and obviously when the lease cars and all that, they took it out, and it was never. By then, I had a bloody, flip phone or what you want to call them back then. I've still got it. I thought, do you know that's probably worth a few bob.
God, mate, especially got all the hold and everything else. I mean, it
Yeah,
used to be like the old joke, wasn't it, Jez? Why are you carrying that? Why you got that suitcase with you? And that's the battery pack from your phone, basically. You know.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Like that.
Bad. I remember them. Jeez. Budgie, the FA will dump it on Leicester as a Christmas present. Yeah, you imagine that. Yeah. Here you go, Leicester. Merry Christmas. 10-point deduction. Can we see the table for the FPL League? Only good league about it. Yeah. I will, because where is it now? Tony, Arsenal mate saying, Tony, who got the most predictions correct? Or we reveal after Monday's match? Yeah, I'm going to leave it until after Monday's match. Keep the suspense going, Arsenal Manic. 4-2-4 starting 11. AFT TV, 6 Wolf tie out, Fat Pie, Eating Robbie out, and Arteta out. Good stuff. Christopher Ryan. Jez, would you say Arteta is the worst manager ever managed at Arsenal if he leaves with winning only one FA Cup?
Yeah, pretty much close to Terry Neal, to be fair. He only ever won one FA Cup. Got the 3 finals. We don't want to talk about that too much, really, with the 79-80 final, the one behind Tony's head. That is still a scar on my heart. But yeah, he's at the moment, mate. He's pretty damn close there. Yeah.
We also ask you how many managers have Arsenal had in their history?
Christ. Well, that's a very good question actually, because up until 1898, they didn't have any managers. It was done by committee. Only in 1904 that they appointed a manager. I can't remember his name, to be honest. But I would guess because, well, we had 3 managers just before Arsene Wenger joined, in Bruce Rioch, Pat Rice, and I'm guessing, this is a pure guess, but I really don't know the truth. I'm guessing true managers we've had is probably 20. I'm guessing. I don't know the answer. There's a pure guess. But if you know the answer, please tell me. I'd love to know. I don't know.
Budget's going with his 4-2-4 formation there with the team. That looks quite actually good. Look, Ariola, Emerson, Tadibo, Kilman, Wan-Bissaka, Somerville, Alvarez, Paqueta, Kudos with Bowen and Falkirk up top. Looks strong actually, that. Let's not talk about the score predictions.
Let's get into Big Andrew's. This is what is it? 0? No, it's 1 or 2. 4-4. It's 2-4 formation.
Yeah, that one that no one gets to get used to. James Lamprey saying, Jez, 11 days till close of transfer window. Are you excited?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Not looking good.
No, not at all, mate.
Because you still haven't signed this Morello fella yet, have you? What's going on with that?
Well, apparently people are gassing it up today that he's in London now. It's going to be done tomorrow. Really? Okay. I'm not holding my breath. I just don't actually. Sorry, I just don't get what he's going to bring to the party. To be honest, he's not top flight. Yeah. Real Sociedad. Okay. Who did we have on loan there last season? Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
Sorry. We shop in Poundland now. We used to shop in Harrods. But sorry, it doesn't excite me whatsoever, I'm afraid.
As long as you have a kit, you'll be fine. Either or Sarah needs to sit there quickly, in my opinion, to keep his place. We had some chance yesterday, but need to change that part of his game for sure. Saliba injury would be the worry for me. Gabriel drops off without him, which in turn affects our left back. And Saka injury will be curtains. Well, yeah, you imagine that.
Yeah.
You've got some key players and you've got no backup, have you, really? That's the thing.
No.
Frankie's saying, my 15-year-old son had YouTube on today going through the Arsenal stuff. I walked in on him, and what I saw was embarrassing. A load of pricks who didn't even know who George Graham is talking shit. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it, man. That's it.
Goonery are Chelsea 41 players. Bloody hell. Why not Fuzzy? We got relegated with Di Canio in our squad. Yep, it's true. Lone Star Londoner. Oi, oi. Nice star from the Gunners. I hope you're keeping well, Lone Star. Good to see you. I think myself took I think Arsenal established in 2019. Yeah, that's true. Wow,
Yeah.
clowns. And I'll call him out. Lee Judges has become a fanboy, sold out.
He's a liar, that guy. I can tell
Yeah,
you
what
that.
you're saying.
He's a liar.
Afternoon, Lawrence. Afternoon from Lexington coming in. Irons. Sorry, late. No worries. It's good to see you anyway. It's good to see you here.
Pick up, man.
Everton looked very poor yesterday. Yeah. Slot thinks Liverpool 1 or 2 players short of winning the title side. Do you agree, guys? Ooh. What do you think on that one?
I'd agree with that, personally. I would agree with that. I think maybe they've held on for Salah for too long.
Yeah.
Could have upgraded there. So yeah, I'd say maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were Zubi Doo away from having a proper solid midfield, because he's one of those signings where you make that purchase and it's like that's essentially your Rodri, to like how impactful he is to Manchester City. Liverpool have that proper solid defensive midfielder in their setup, and then you add somebody else into that team as well with some proper quality. I think what Slot's trying to do is breathe through some of the younger players as well and integrate them a bit like what Ten Hag has been trying to do with Mainu, Diallo, and I don't remember who the other person was, Garnacho. So yeah, I think he's sort of going down that path, but I think with Liverpool, given that they're a club that wants or aspires to be Prem champs, they've got to go out and actually act upon getting the critical business done, and do whatever it takes to do that, rather than signing loads of different fringe players and say, oh we signed this player because it was an opportunity. And that's something that I get sick and tired of managers saying about signings is, oh, well, we'll sign a player when the opportunity arises. We'll wait for opportunities in the windows, guys. And like, opportunity, my arse. I said it the other day, Tony, about Arsenal. You don't wait for opportunities when you're a club of Arsenal size. Same thing with Liverpool.
Yeah.
You go out there and you just say, well, look, we're Arsenal Football Club. We are classy Arsenal. You will come to us, and together we'll win trophies. Yeah. That's what you're meant to say. That's where the script got chewed up in the paper shredder quite clearly, because everyone's tried to rewrite it. And
with the dog chewed it up.
Yeah,
it's true.
Like the pre-season speech. Like, it's meant to be a rallying cry. Come on, guys, we're going to win the Prem this season. Let's not bloody fail. Instead, they had to get a redo on the copy written by Edu with Wynn's guidance, and came out with a sob story about the summer barbecue that Edu had. Lots of feet were involved, I heard.
I mean, not being funny, we've been used to it with Moyes saying that in the board from West Ham the last couple of seasons. We nearly signed them, but do you think Zaha for 9 million would be a good signing for Arsenal?
No.
I think that ship's sailed.
Be interesting. Mark was saying Ipswich ran out of steam. People forgetting most of that team were first team, Div 1 players. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mama and Henry saying hello to each other. So, Fuzzy, what's Man United's next game?
Brighton away.
Ooh,
So
Brighton.
yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. They travel away to Everton, first game of the season. They're just like, nah, suck on this one, Everton. Slap them. 3-0 straight past them. Could have been 4. I mean, they had a disallowed goal for an offside. Adingra, I think it was. Yeah, it just absolute, just lambasted them. So, and it will be their first home game. So the Amex will be rocking. It will be absolutely round to the rafters, and everybody will be sat there waiting for it. Big upset against Man United. Let's go. Let's do it.
Mhm.
And United.
Then you see all the in the newspaper. Ten Hag out again. Let's get him out of the way. You'll all be that kind of in the news.
We'll get that, and regardless of what happens.
Yeah, it's true.
We could be like 5 minutes in and nothing's really happened. Everyone's Ten Hag.
And of course, Arsenal go to Aston Villa, and I've just seen, Palace. We go to their ground, so that's we never get anything out of when they go to Selhurst Park, West Ham. Always, it's our bogey ground. Out of all the bloody clubs, mind you, it might be different under the Lopetegui. We never know. It could be different, but I can't see it unless he makes
I
changes.
see they've got permission today to build their new part of their ground. They got permission from Croydon Council to build it.
Wow. Because, I mean, have you been to Selhurst Park, Jess?
Oh, loads of times, man.
Because it's weird, isn't it? Because when you think, you have to go down for it, and it'd be very interesting to see what it's going to look like. It's one of the clubs that definitely need it.
Pictures I saw today, they look very impressive. Very impressive. So it does need modernising, that place, I won't lie.
Yeah, that's for sure. Frankie's saying there, Jez Portman Road FA Cup in right hat trick.
Yep.
Our first phone was Nokia 5110. Was it the first one where you could change the font case? Yeah, I think it was that one. Or no, was that the one? Or was the 81 something? The one that was used in the Matrix when it used to come down the case when you won't answer the phone, it would come down and you can. Still outlived a nuclear blast.
The Razor phone. Do you remember that? The flip phone?
Oh, yeah, the Razor. Yeah, remember that one. Yeah.
Body? Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember them ones.
Yeah. I had one of them.
Arsenal mate saying, Anthony, do you have mobile data? Get online via that. He's disappeared, though. I remember the Motorola's, Gunnery saying, Lawrence saying, if you're a West Ham fan, you need to trust the process. We coach and team need to figure out the tactics and chemistry. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Lawrence. I think it'll work itself out shortly rather than longing it out. Great show. I think they will go doing well. Yeah, saying hello to each other. Ian and Larry. All these processes sound like the UEFA and FIFA together make a lovely couple. Ooh, let's hope not. God, Pepsi look still own a Walkman. Do you remember there was the rage?
Oh, yeah, the Walkman. Jeez,
the Walkmans. And then what was the next? Oh, then of course, then it was the Discman, wasn't it? They brought out the Discman as well. Ooh. Eddie Cefax, good evening to you. Willie Young should have had 8 red cards for that foul. Lawrence saying, I got at least two correct scores. Timmy getting Jez. Has Emery been afforded £1 billion and 5 seasons? Do you think he would have won the Premier League or Champions League by now?
Yes. No question. No question.
The Assemble saying Don Howe was one as well, Jez.
Yeah, he was.
Don Howe. Timmy, Willie Young was filth, I remember. Henry Norris and Herbert Chapman, yeah. Evening, Vic Lafia. Evening, all. Talking about the good old days.
Henry
I
Norris.
still remember
Never a manager.
Henry Norris. Yeah.
He was never a manager of Arsenal. He was the owner. He was never a manager.
Well, Vic's saying about using teletext, so I'll just put this one up there just to make. I've got CFAX instead, so there you go. Talking of the good old days, I still remember using teletext for my old footy news.
It gets worse with that background.
Calm down, it's happening. King Nikhil saying. Aaron saying, "Jez, you're close, mate, but we've actually had 21 managers."
Can't get it all right.
Yeah, you were close. 18 managers. Yeah, Lone Star. Which Arsenal team scored their most ever goals in a season? Last season, 91 goals.
And we won nothing.
Ooh, look at that. Good, interesting question for you, there, Jez. Michael saying, has Muller Rice dropped his form? He did during the Euros. Did he look better yesterday?
I thought he looked better. He wasn't top form. I'll give you that. But hey, it's early doors. Let's not get carried away just yet.
Yeah.
He's a class player, man. He's a top level class player, and he wasn't great in the Euros. I'll go along with that, but I'm not going to write him off just yet because there's a long way to go, and let's see what happens. But no, we spent a lot of money on him. I think he'll come good.
Arsenal Manic saying the book has got Arsenal almost joint faves with City to win the title.
Well, good luck with that.
Kovacic was outstanding today, Lone Star saying. Larry says, last time that Fuzz talked less was doing his Donna date.
Oh, yeah. Where's she then? Where's she gone?
She's hitting up Saba now from Football Heritage TV.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Dropping loads of donations and trying to sweet talk him, and Saba's just like having none of it.
Christopher Ryan, they didn't know who George Graham is. Yeah, how can you not know who George Graham was? Bloody hell.
Wrong in it.
Michael Chelsea, Lee judges the ultimate toxic positivity merchant. Yeah. Lone Star, banger goal. Yeah. I'm sorry, Henry, but Slot isn't the man to get you a title. I actually think Liverpool are 2 managers from the Premier title. Yeah. Timmy, think Arsenal are 1 kilo away for sure. Yeah, I've said it, in our show we do on a Wednesday. I think you're 2 players short to get you over the title. Norris was a director at the same time as a dodgy promotion we had over Spurs, I believe. Well,
he was.
Well, Fuzzy, you mentioned her, and she's saying hello, Gracie May.
Hi, Gracie.
Hope you're keeping well, Gracie. Good seeing you. As well as this legend as well. Carl Walsh-Gunner, big up, gents. Yesterday's game showed me we were crying out for a few players still. Also, I watched City today. They are levels ahead of us. They will be out of sight by Christmas. Wow.
Totally agree.
Hope you're on the road to recovery, Carl, as well. Good to see you, be back in making comments. Be good to see you live as well. Hopefully that'll be soon. Nico Corinti, big up all people. Big up to yourself as well.
Big up.
Timmy's saying City set the gauntlet today. Arteta needs 30-goal killer now.
We ain't getting one. Don't you worry about that.
Grace is asking how we all. Yeah, we're all doing well. Hope you are as well.
All good.
And glad you bumped into this guy as well. Grace and Manny there. Lone Star saying, I think Liverpool will be very good this season. Doing pretty well at the moment.
I'll probably say there'll be a bit more of a not quite enough sort of team. You see plenty of good stuff. Then it's always just bridge too short with them, I think.
There you go, Fuzzy. There's our points. Look, I've got 36. You got 33. Not bad. Take that.
Hell yeah.
Frank is saying, okay, Jez, I'm a liar. When they are sucking up the weather on TV and in Sky Sports spit out her voice, all play executive boxes, freebies, remember where you come from. Yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it? Yep. Most of us at the moment. Top 4 in Champions League semi-final, maybe, but he's not a serial winner. Klopp, in my opinion, is the best manager at Liverpool this century. Yeah, it's right. Aaron's saying 5 years too late for Zaha. Brighton 3, Man United. Oh, Timmy's saying Brighton 3, Man United 1. The assemble that classy Arsenal seemed to have left when Arsenal got to the Emirates, in my opinion. I think
Totally
we can
agree.
all, yeah, it's a good one. And Carl saying, Christopher, I'm telling you now, pal, we are going nowhere fast again this season. The squad is way too light, mate. We need reinforcements big time. Villa will beat us next week, mate. Dare I say it's a process? Oh, that word. Yeah, must not upset the YouTube click as always. United have just got permission to fix their roof. Yes, they have, Lone Star. Fuzzy mate, like you, mate, but the only way Man United is top of the castle if they get a visitors pass. Just saying. Chris was saying, yeah, we definitely need a striker yesterday. Showed it, but always crunch when it actually matters. If you look at last season in the games against Villa, when the top was in their hands. Yeah, well, I think as Anthony said, Arteta mucked around with that team, and that's what cost you.
Yep.
Even before he mucks around again.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. No, it's true, Budgie. Yeah, Moyes broke the Brighton curse, Tony. Lobby can do better. 100%. I think it's too early to kind of say where we're going to be at the moment. Liverpool unlikely at Sellers Park. Same for Man City. Huge respect to Palace. Absolutely, Timmy. Paddy saying, I thought Man U were trashy against Fulham. Scraped to win. Sorry, Fuzz. I think you can agree on that, can't you?
No, I think in the fair few parts of the games, Man United very clearly second best. Then the rest of the game, Man United a bit more sort of on top. But you look at it from a different perspective. If Bruno Fernandes actually had a bit of consistency or a cutting edge to his finishing, he had 2-3 big chances that game. That could have been a 3-4, 4-0 type scoreline on a different day. So I think the case for Man United is that we're starting to make better opportunities, but we're not taking them. So maybe Xerxes has to start to actually take those chances and get Højlund back. So we've got two players that are a bit more clinical with the shooting, get a bit closer to goal, get more, score more goals and happy days. So probably be better off. We should be a lot better off this season if we can sort that out.
I think it'd be interesting. I think, again, innit, you brought a couple of players in there, obviously, like us, not as many as us, obviously, but I think it'll all come good for you guys. Pepsi saying, look, BlackBerry phones. Yeah, they weren't exactly, they're very hit and miss, weren't they, Blackberries? More for the businessmen, I think they were. Tim is saying, saw Charlton Cross City at Sellers Park in the day. 1980s was a long drive home. Oh, the mini disc never took off. No, neither did the laser disc that Philips brought out. Remember that? Bruce Rioch, the nurturing. Todd Burge, big up Jez and everyone else. Arsenal, we need a striker. Let's get Tony.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Carl Walsh is saying we need a striker, a right winger, a midfielder, and we need to get rid of Vieira, Nketiah, Nelson, Kivior, Ramsdale, Partey, Martinelli, and Jorginho.
Well, we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Paddy saying, Mum's got an old phone. There's a pull-up area and a pull-down speaker. Or what? The size of a brick surely can't be worth anything. It sounds like it's either Jez's old phone, or it's the one I had, the old Mercury 1-to-1 phone.
Old phones nowadays actually are worth to collectors. If they're in half decent condition, you get a few quid for them.
True. Goonery, we were scammed by West Ham for Declan Rice. I'm not seeing anything outstanding. It was money well spent, Goonery. Let's be real. It was money well spent. We was very happy with that money, even though you did
funded this transfer window.
Well, you say that, did it though? Because at the end of the day, remember, as we always say, Arsenal paid on Klarna for Rice. 3 payments, 33 million, rather than one lump sum. So, did it really? But I think you'll see more coming out of Rice anyway. Depends how Arteta's going to play him.
All right,
Yeah, Loans.
he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. I mean, like, I didn't want him to go, but at the same point, you can understand why he wanted to leave. But we've covered that already and before. Lone Star saying CFAX and Teletext, gotta love the 80s. Yeah.
God, yeah.
Timmy saying, is Jack Grealish, maybe the 100 million is playing upon his mind? No, I think Rice is a bit more mature than that. I think, he's quite got his head on his shoulders, that kid. Aaron saying, yep, agree with you, Jez, mate. Rice is still shaking off Southgate ball. Whew.
Yeah.
Most of it was.
Yeah. Whole country is.
God. A-Team and Alf. Gotta love the 80s. Oh, Pepsi Alf. Yeah, Alf was brilliant. Melmaker's a great place. Pepsi Pack. Pep is trying for an undefeated season. Assemble. This is a great shout because if it is going to be his last season, as Jez said early on in the show, could he
claim one more record?
Oh, yeah, exactly. If I'm going to go out of a bang, I'm going to take the whole lot. Mind you, I don't think he'll have the effect that Klopp had when he is his last season.
Oh.
He's going to go. He's going to go for the 5 in a row. He's going to go. He's going to prioritise 5 in a row, and he's going to prioritise the Champions League.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Jess. I think that would be his ultimate goal. Arsenal only want a 15-goal killer, and we already have him, number 29. Are you us saying? Arsenal need to buy Wurzel, but you can surely get him over the line this season. Lone Stars adding, Villa will not beat us next week, period. Top 3 this year. Oh, imagine that. To win the title, they need to go back to 1-0 to the Arsenal. Points make prizes. Yep. Worked for Mourinho, didn't it, when he went to Chelsea? Worked there. Lawrence is saying Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool, the top 3. Excuse me. Lone Star saying Man United score so few goals.
That's the thing. You're not clinical enough. Get more clinicality. You make lots of chances. You'll score lots of goals.
You created the chances. What I saw on Friday, just completely wasted.
Michael Owen once said, legendary quote: "If you score some goals, you'll probably win the game."
Yeah. So just before we come up towards the end of that, I mean, I'll start with you, Fuzz. Looking at your next game, how do you see the game going?
Well, Brighton. I mean, I suppose it's a different sort of team that we'll be playing against, given that Fulham play a bit deeper and try and play counter-attack with pacey wingers and a bit of creativity from the middle of the park. Brighton just play outright, like possession football, risky football. I suppose with Brighton, it's a bit of a risk. It can go one of two ways. They either play through the press expertly, happy days, through on goal quite simply, and probably end up winning the game, or the high press of Man United is going to cause a bit of problems. I think it was Leno against us. He had a dodgy moment, which should have cost them. It should have cost Fulham another goal. But for me, if we turn up to that game with the high press and Brighton start getting a bit nervous with it, I think we'll be fine. I think we should be fairly comfortable with the game. But it's Man United we're talking about, so it's never as simple as that. Can't be as simple as we want it to be.
Good night, Michael. Thanks for coming in. Great night, guys. Early start in the morning. Great show. Thanks, mate, and good to see you in here as well. Thanks for your comments, and sleep well and enjoy your work. Frank is saying, great show, fellas. Jez, sorry if you was offended by my fanboy comment, but there's a lot of flip-flopping with the Arsenal YouTube channels.
No, not at all, man. No, not at all. No, I was not affected. No.
Michael said it as well, though, Jez. Didn't the Arsenal fans start a GoFundMe for West Ham United when they said they underpaid?
Probably.
TV say West Ham versus Villa game was a decent game, decent watch for sure. Thank you for that. Timmy Pertwee, legend. Night Michael there. Jez from the Assembled. Has there been a team in the Premiership history that has conceded the least amount of goals and not won the league? Is this another unwanted record?
Oh, good question. I think I'm right in saying this, that Liverpool did that
Take care, Budgie.
back in 76. I could be up. It might 75, 76. I think that was what it was. Go and check it out, man. I'm sure that was what it was.
Be interested to see that one on that. Christopher Ryan, how do you think Villa will do in the Champions League this season with Emery?
I know they're a strong knockout team, but I think in the group stage, league format, I think maybe some of the teams might play with a little bit less pressure because there's more games to sort of get into qualifications and that there's more spots to grab. So I don't know if that would favour an Aston Villa or if that would be a bit sort of go against them a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think with the signings, maybe that's the intention. They've brought the signings in to do well in this Champions League. Could be wrong, but it's not a bad shot actually, isn't it? Jez, do you think they'll do all right?
I think they'll do all right. They've got a seasoned manager in Europa.
That's true. It is very true.
He's got a history. Got Arsenal to a Europa League final, and we capitulated. So I think they'll do very well. With the new format as well, it's a totally different setup. So it's going to be very different from all the teams. So yeah, I think they'll do all right. He's seasoned. He knows Europe. So
yeah. West Ham didn't play a league game outside of London until November. Oh, that's big. Right. Making Lopetegui feel at home in London, hopefully. Villa odds on Europa League, Emery. Pepsi saying Celtic levels, and Lone Stars added with their Real Madrid look unstoppable in the Champions League.
Steam train, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're drawing to Mallorca at the moment. It's 1-1 in the league. Mighty Mallorca.
King Mikel, have you booked Terry yet? I will be seeing him this Saturday. So I shall be having a little shell word like in his ears. And just remind those from last week's show, we did talk about the last man standing. The show, they've already started, but you can always look at the community links on my page that tells you about the last man standing. So if you fancy it, go over there. You'll see all the information on that anyway. So hopefully you go from there. Where was it now? I saw the Gracie May's comment. Gracie May, it was nice to meet you on Saturday, Fuzz. Made me laugh, that's for sure.
Likewise.
Frank, you're saying only YouTube Arsenal podcasters are correct. Us other fans don't have a voice. Wow.
Don't know about
that. I think Madrid infighting may derail them. Possibly, Timmy. Yeah, because too many big heads there, isn't there? I think.
Oh, but it's Real Madrid, isn't it? The club hierarchy is second. Anything happens there, the club hierarchy will sort it out. They'll sort it out big time.
Pepsi saying Terry's return will be box office viewing. I'll try my best, Pepsi, see if I can get hold of him. I'll try my best. Paddy saying, I just can't believe the wages Arsenal pay. You could bring in a free transfers after moving Reece on with more quality of Arsenal. Don't want to spend money. Bonker. Well, they've turned down some money. Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah. Well, that in itself is pure profit in my eyes, but Hey,
Absolutely.
what the hell? What the what's that? 50 odd million plus they could have had in the pocket.
Mm.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
True.
Tel was busy on a paper and at a flat out last week. Dreadful. Oh, Grace, I'm still injured. Waiting surgery now. Back in an air cast. What did you do?
Just tore a calf muscle in training.
Oh, not good.
Horrible. He showed me the injury. It was horrible.
Yeah, I can see with the boot on the leg, the walking boot.
Horrible. The bruising was horrendous. Wow.
Speedy recovery, Gracie. Let's hope it's not too long.
The speedy recovery as well to Danilo for Nottingham Forest as well.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I was going to say, yeah, we couldn't mention that one. That
Injury, and also Angel Gomez as well. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I saw it live.
Out.
As soon as he went, I thought, oh my God, that's broken.
That's all. That's pretty much season end of that is.
He's out for the season, mate. He's gone. Horrible.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? That is a shame. Especially the opening game as well for him. And you have that happening. Yeah.
It's all from a header. He just landed.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly, didn't he? Jeez, I think that's what I picked up on. He landed awkwardly, and that was it.
Yeah. He was trying to jump header, and as he was coming down, he was trying to avoid the other player. And his foot was, you could see his foot was to the side, not flat.
Ouch.
Flat. And he landed on the side of his foot, and just, you could see it straight away. It just went, I thought, I thought, oh man, that's broken or dislocated, whatever. But yeah, not good, man. Feel sorry for players like that.
Yeah, don't need that, do you? No, I don't spend that. Sorry, that's fine. Christopher Ryan saying, did you see Yardman cook Robbie in his interview yesterday?
Yes.
I'll have a look at that.
Big ups, Yardman. Standing his ground against a mob.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Truth. Gracie May says, Jez, we'll have to meet up soon.
Well, just call me. I told you to call me, Gracie, ages ago. I'm only down the road.
Henry made Terry Yield. Arsenal allergic to money when it comes to transfers. It seems that way.
Yeah.
Oh, still is the same. Bruising as well. 5 months in. Wow.
Yeah. It's horrible. When she sent me a photograph of it on Insta, I thought, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, not good. Aaron saying, not accepting 25 million for Eddie will bite us in the backside. Stinks of rejecting 25 million for Maitland Niles. 18 million for Chambers. We never learn.
Nope.
Okay, soon, exactly. Would you keep Partey for another season? Oh,
it's a good question. After yesterday's performance, now I like Partey. Don't get me wrong. I've always been an advocate of Partey. But yesterday he was shit. He was proper shit. So, mate, you've got to step up, because the question I have is this, right? Can we afford to let senior players go? Who's going to replace him?
Yeah.
Who's going to replace him? Jorginho? Vieira? I mean, we haven't got a lot of great choices, have we?
Well, they're probably still open on that Morello deal, Jez. That's what it could be.
Yeah, God, yeah, I know, yeah. So I don't know. It's a tough ask. It's a tough ask. Really is tough ask.
Aaron saying Yardman also posted another video on his channel after it, giving Blobby Lowe another roast. Oh, he didn't know back then, that's for sure.
Well, I started watching that one before we started this.
Yeah, bloody hell. As Timmy has already said, as Pepsi is also saying again, remember David busted injury or Coventry against Man United? Oh, yeah, remember that. You actually see the bone sticking out of his leg, didn't you?
Yeah.
God, dear.
I remember I was at the game, Ramsey at Birmingham City, where you got the double leg break. Oh,
yeah, not good.
That was horrendous, man. Horrendous. You know, I honestly thought I sat there with a few muckers, and I said, I don't think he'll ever come back from that. But he did. Fair play to him.
Yeah,
Fair play. I don't think he was ever the same player again. But there you go.
No, it's true.
Mm.
Jibril Cisse broke both his legs. Yeah, remember that one. Yardman puts up with too much nonsense from that channel. Unfortunately, a lot of them do. That's the problem, though, Paddy. And I don't know. Maybe they just like having the piss taken out of them for some reason. After watch that Yardman roasting, love right lad. Anyway, guys, as always, it's come up to the 2-hour mark already. Amazing how quickly that's disappeared on us.
Yeah.
As always, guys, in the channel, in the chat, thanks for being with us. You know, appreciate you being here and some great comments today. And as always, make sure you go over to see Hot Fuzz 44 and the Arsenal History and More. And obviously give them a share, like, and obviously subscribe to those guys. Great channels as always. And it's always great to have you on board in the panel itself. So, Jez, if you'd like to shout yourself out, please. And what you got coming up?
Yeah, it's Arsenal History and More. Tomorrow night, I will be the weekly podcast on Lee Gunner's channel. Then I'm probably going to maybe do a match review for the game yesterday. And then Wednesday night we will be resuming the weekly show with Kenny Ken and guests on there. And then for the first time, Thursday night, 7:00, I'm on with Soph. And I'll tell you her channel because she's a lovely young lady. Let me just shout it out for her. Been going for a while, but her channel is. Hang on, bear with me if I can find it. No, I can't bloody find it now. Guna Gossip TV. Guna Gossip TV. Soph, Arsenal fan. I'm joining her at 7:00 on Thursday. So go over and smash her some love, and we're going to talk everything Arsenal. So there we are.
Thanks, Mama, as always. Lawrence, our hybrid squad. Yeah, thank you very much, Jess, for that. And good night, everyone. Catch you soon. Budgie, I'll message you soon, mate. We're organised between you and Kieran getting you on. Thanks again for your time, gents. Enjoy this Sunday evening pod. Like, X, sub on your way up, people. Thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate that. Night, Budgie. Timmy saying, are you watching the Spuds, Jess?
Of course.
For tomorrow. And for those in the chat, this is the link to Sophie's channel, Guna Gossip TV. So make sure of that as well, please. Come in your eyes, absolutely, Lawrence. Fuzzy, if you'd like to shout yourself out and what you've got coming up, please.
Yep, finally Hot Fuzz 44 OG.
No, Paddy.
In terms of bits going on next week, of course, the first and foremost, Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Season 2, Episode 4? Six already. His 6th episode. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's going on? But more predictors to see. I'm intrigued to find out how everybody's done with the points tally. See if Anthony and Richard are doing it out, battling for the top spot on that predictor. I reckon Anthony would do a 97% on top of the predictor table and then bottle it to somebody at the last minute. Because it would be fantastic is to see the PTSD written all over his face when we get to that last game week and he's just lost out on the points predictors. But as for Manchester United, bits and pieces, of course, transfer window's still open, so club is prone to all sorts of madness and crazy madness indeed. Hopefully this Agate stuff can get sorted out quickly. McTominay's linked with exits to Napoli and to Fulham again now. So hopefully we can do that deal this week and then sort out Agate, and then I think it's try and squeeze in the left back and then we should all be sorted.
Nice, good business that. So it should be good. And finally, basically it's me. And obviously late to the party, but good evening to you, Ravi. What up? You've just come in as we're going, Ravi, but appreciate you being in here as well. Hope you're keeping well, mate. Thanks for coming in. Smash the likes up and subscribe. Thanks, Ravi, and that's obviously to the other two gents as well with me as well. And obviously, yeah, for the Oregon Dow, hey Dow, man's back from the forest. I hope you've had a good time out there, Dow, and it's not been too good or cold or wet. Hope you had a good time out there. Good seeing you in here as well. Yeah, so as Fuzzy says, for Early Doors Football TV channel, we've got obviously The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly come up on Wednesday with Anthony Herbert, as long as he can sort out his Wi-Fi. That is one thing. You just got back from work, Ravi. Okay, mate, that understands it. Showing up late to the party as always. And then obviously Sunday, we're back again with this show. I'm hoping also to get another spotlight in during this week as well. Jez, I will have to arrange one with you as well. I definitely want to get that one sorted out because that's going to be quite a good one to ask you some questions and, you know, learn more about yourself. That would be quite good to see.
That's scary.
Yeah, indeed. And I'll be looking to get on Budgie and his mate Kieran, which they do their show after when we finish on the Wednesday night. Herbert smoking manure again, as always. See North London's finest or not on tomorrow night. Yeah, absolutely, Ravi, that's true. So people in the chat, thanks for hanging around with us. It's been quite entertaining. It's been a good chat from you guys as well.
Great
and
show.
Basically, as Timmy says, next time, Ravi, absolutely, next time. We are out. So thanks again, panel, for being with us. Chat, thanks again for being with us as always. Appreciate it. And as Henry says there, good night all. Everyone, evening, everyone. Good. And Spurs Bottling tomorrow night. Good night. Take care and enjoy your week as well.